Now is my good friend from Ohio, and I'd like to yield 2 minutes to the gentleman, Mr. Jordan.
The gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Jordan, is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the gentleman for yielding. It's bad enough that this bill is going to tell states how to run elections. Bad enough this bill is going to require taxpayers to finance the elections of politicians who created the swamp so they can get back to the swamp. But what is most egregious about this legislation is the attack on free speech. As the whip mentioned, the ACLU has said this vote no on this bill because it unconstitutionally burdens free speech and association rights. And let me tell you how it does it. Uses our old friend the IRS. Remember, just a few years ago where the IRS systematically targeted people for their political beliefs. They went after conservatives. Now think about your First Amendment liberties. Your right to practice your faith the way you want to, the right to assemble, the right to petition your government, freedom of the press. But what is the most fundamental liberty we have under the First Amendment? Your right to speak, and particularly to speak in a political fashion, a political nature. That's what the IRS went after, and this bill does this. It gets rid of the Schedule B protections that are currently in law. It says the reason the protection of Schedule B information is important has nothing to do with vast conspiracies on the right or the left related to so-called dark money. Rather, it dates back to the Supreme Court's 1958 decision, NAACP versus Alabama. The Supreme Court formally recognized First Amendment protection of the freedom of association that prevented the NAACP from being compelled to turn over information about its members. This bill, what it will do today, is when this information has been leaked, as it has already, everyday Americans will continue to receive death threats, mail containing white powder, all because someone disagrees with what they believe. This bill should be defeated for one simple reason. It attacks our First Amendment liberties, our most sacred rights. This bill goes after it, and that's why we should vote it down, and that's why I urge a no vote. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.